Hey guys, welcome back here to yet another episode of my Nemesis recreation. Just before I get into today's build, which is going to be at the station, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this series so far. And don't forget to check out some of the other videos I've got going on my channel. I've just recently started a coaster review series as well alongside playing coaster games. So back to Nemesis. Today I wanted to go in and actually tackle the station. Last time in the old recreation, the station was something that was really not well done, but I was very limited with the pieces, and now I have a really good idea of how I'm going to tackle this. So as you all may know, the Nemesis station is actually just a wooden shed, and then everything is put on over the top. So it's actually very boxy in real life, and I know it's something I normally try and avoid when building stations for rides, but Nemesis is actually a very boxy station. So I'm just laying down like a pink foundation there, which will kind of act as like the flesh of the alien creature. As you know, the station for Nemesis is an alien creature, and all its tentacles and things kind of span out. And I believe it's sometimes confused, but I believe that the creature is being chained down by the track of the ride, whereas I think some people believe that the actual track is the tentacles of the creature. Now, whether or not it is, I don't know, but I do believe that the track is chaining it down. But I know it's confusing because actually some of the tentacles do have some B&M tracks sticking out of them. But I'm not really sure what that is. If anyone knows, do let me know down below in the comments. But basically, I'm just looking at a picture of the station, and I'm just going to try and replicate what I see as best I can. And I've got a pretty good idea of how I'm going to do it. We're pretty free now in this game with the shapes, and I know that most of this can be done using the shapes. And so I'm just going to put down lots of different again, shapes, and to try and build up what I'm trying to make. So I think that will work out quite well. It's got these two kind of fleshy kind of things going across the top of the station, which kind of look like muscles, maybe that support the spine of the beast. So I'm doing that using cylinders, just making them smaller and smaller as I go along, and I actually think that looks really similar to the real thing, so that's worked out quite well. And yeah, going back to what I did just a minute ago, the white kind of curves, like these rib cage bone things, just border pieces. Honestly, this station is like 95% vanilla, if you would believe it. The only thing that isn't vanilla are the roof sections that are underneath what I'm doing now, because Shy Guys 3 have these nice really shallow roofs, and they're not available in the game in the vanilla pieces, so they're the only piece that I've actually used. And apart from that, everything else is actually vanilla. So to kind of create that fleshy look as well, I am using the vine, and I've colored the vine in a nice pink color. I think the vine in the game does give off this kind of alien vibe. So I'm going to try and use that throughout this whole thing as well. I know it's a vine, but actually if you color it, you don't know it's a vine anymore. So I think that worked out pretty well. I'm just going to save this half of the station, and to save myself like the time, I'm just going to copy that over as a blueprint, and that'll work out really well. And now I've just saved myself half time, and now I can carry on. So now next up is the spine, of course, in the middle. So I'm just going to lay down like a little foundation first across the top, and then again using the shapes, I'm just going to build like those bony spine vertebrae kind of pieces. I think they're a little bit too big right now, so I'm just going to make those a little bit smaller, and then just kind of place those along. Use the different angled ones as well. I'm looking at a picture. I actually kind of noticed that it looks like there's some sort of rock as well in there. I mean, it's probably bone, but it does look like rocks. So I'm actually going to use some of the rocks as well, just to fill in some of the gaps and give it a bit more that look of that more kind of rocky bone texture. I know that, like, from the beginning, from watching this, you're looking at the station and you're thinking, that's never going to look like that Nemesis station. And I actually thought the same. When I first started it, I thought, oh my god, where's this going? Like, hopefully it looks like the thing in the end. And as you can see, as I keep adding pieces, as I keep going along, it does start to resemble the actual station from the ride. So I'm really pleased with how it's looking. I'm using the sphere here to actually do the tentacles. Now, I feel like they could be done a little bit better, and I do actually end up adding some vines coloured grey into like the socket at the very base of the thing. But yeah, that's the only kind of criticism I have with the station, is those tentacles. But you know what, they're okay, they're not too bad. For those bits of track sticking out the end, I wanted to try and actually use pieces of real track from the game. So I tried doing it with like a piece of flawless track there, which actually looks really cool, but those in-game tunnels, I absolutely hate them, and they just take up so much space, and they're really hard to cover up as well. So do you know what? I just kind of ended up getting rid of that idea and doing something else instead. But I actually looked through. There's a mod called CTS where you have fake pieces of track, but unfortunately there are no kind of vertical pieces. But that would have been really cool. But I'm actually going to make them myself, using different pieces, different shapes and stuff. But the whole idea of using that kind of flawless track was good. Back along to maybe like 2009, 10 maybe, I built Nemesis in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. So this is maybe like the third or fourth time I've built Nemesis in a theme park tycoon game. But I built Nemesis in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and I did use pieces of track as well to kind of simulate those tentacles. So that was really cool, but unfortunately that method doesn't really translate very well over into Parkitect. Here you can see I tried it one more time using a piece of in-game track, but I'm not liking how it looks, and those pieces of tunnel as well are going to make it difficult when I come to doing the nice kind of terrain work around these different kind of pits where the track sits in. So I am going to delete those in a second, but for now I was kind of feeling the idea, but like I said, I changed my mind. So to do like the texture on the side of the walls, I'm again using the piece of vine. This is the vertical piece of vine. I'm just kind of using that, rotating it around, and then using that arched vine as well, just to kind of layer it up and give it that kind of crisscross, muscly type look. So I actually think that looks really cool. I am currently aware as well that the exit for the station is in the wrong place, so that will be changed at a later date. I actually just placed the exit down there just to get one down and didn't actually think about where it should go. And then as I started building, I just kind of forgot about it. And it wasn't until later on when I actually started to focus in on the details of the exit that I realized I put it in the wrong place. I've just gone ahead a little bit, and also you can see I have changed that pink wall underneath to a more of a dark red color, which I think makes it look much better. It was a bit too pink, and the ride does have more reds in it, and so I wanted to just kind of put a bit more red in there, so I've gone ahead and done that. And again, I'm just adding more shapes in where I think they belong. Looking back and forward at a reference photo, well, I say one photo, I had about 6 or 7 different photos of the station that I was trying to look at from different angles. I can't see everything properly. Like, I am a bit confused on how the where the track comes out the front of the station. I'm a bit confused how that works. I know there's like these 2 claws and there's an eyeball and everything, but it's all a bit like blurry, or there's trees in the way, so I'm not 100% sure on how that looks. And of course, when I ride Nemesis, I do take in all the details, but I haven't been there for maybe 8 years, so it's a bit blurry in my brain, and I'm just so taken in by everything that I don't focus in on one detail like the front of the station. So I can't really remember that. I've looked at pictures, but I'll do my best to recreate what I see. The back bit was probably the hardest bit, because actually the track is a little bit offset to the center of the station, and if you actually look at an aerial photo of Nemesis, one side of the station is actually much wider than the other side, even though it looks like it is symmetrical. So that's a bit strange. I think it's because you have like the queue and everything on one side and the air gates, and then the other side is just the exit. So I think it is kind of one-sided heavy, which means in the recreation the track comes out in a weird place of the alien creature, and so the spine doesn't really line up properly. So it was also actually quite a hard thing to do, the spine. I just skipped it there because it was really boring. But yeah, I got there in the end with that one. I'm just adding in those claws there at the front, which I think are kind of correct. I'm not 100% sure, like I said. And I'm just doing the eyeball. I was really looking forward to doing the eyeball, because that was one of the things I always remember from Nemesis, is having that eyeball at the front. But yeah, but the claws, I'm not really 100% sure how they are. With the rest of the tentacles, I am actually just going to kind of wait until I've done more of the path work and the queue line and everything, so I can really set those in stone about which direction and where they go. I have also altered the queue line so that it's now correct going into the station. It wasn't right earlier on in the video, so I have changed that as well. Right now, I'm just actually doing those B&M fake track pieces. I'm actually just using a cube. I'm going to stack the cube up, and then I've got these 2 nice like round beams from Shy Guy's dining set, which will work perfect as the rails on the track, and then I'm just going to try and join them up. I looked for a few pieces to join them up, the rails to the spine, but I ended up actually just using a cube in its smallest form. Doesn't look the best, but it was the only kind of way that I could do it. But yeah, that was kind of my solution for that, and I think it looks actually not too bad. So I'm just going to do a couple of those, and then I'll skip ahead and I'll show you kind of the finished product on how that looks. So here's those rails going in, as you can see, and I've just put those cubes in there as track connectors or rail connectors, and that's kind of how that is going to look. I know it doesn't look the best, but it's definitely like a good solution. So the station's pretty much taken shape now, and as you can see, it does actually look like the Nemesis station, so I'm really happy with how that turned out. This was one of the things I was most looking forward to building, because I never really tackled the station in this way before. I kind of just, in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, I don't even think I did the station. I think I just raised up some terrain and coloured it red, or something really simple. And then in my early Parkitect recreation, I tried to use in-game vanilla pieces, but it didn't quite work out. But I think this looks the best. So thanks for watching today, guys, and stick around for more episodes of my Nemesis recreation. Don't forget to give me a subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.